as I just mentioned, Naoris Protocol is one of the newest projects that we're advising here at DNA, and we're very excited to be working with them. Fred, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Could you please give us a little bit about your background? I understand that you're an advisor to Naoris. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got connected with Naoris, what you saw in Naoris that made you want to get involved and become an advisor to the project?
I come from the finance world, but I have a background as an engineer and started to enter the blockchain around end of 2017. I'm the co-owner, of Token2049, which is the top four world media speaking about blockchain and crypto, and operate the French franchise of Cointelegraph. Based on this, I also developed a portfolio of position in several projects within the crypto ecosystem, with about 65 to 70 positions and an average ticket of $100,000 on each project. We try to cover the 360 area of crypto. So it goes from gaming to DePIN, DeFi, you name it. And within this, quantum is occupying the space more and more because there are breakthrough almost every week now about qubit, quantum computers and stuff like this. And it's not very much more a doubt that at some point in the next 36 months maximum, the first on-the-shelf quantum computer will be available. Therefore, people will get, and it can be good or bad people, the ability to break the RSA and encryption and all the encrypted data for most of the case. So it's time now more than ever to think about solution for the post-quantum area.
Yeah. I've been hearing about quantum computing for going on 10 years now. And for most of that time, it felt like we viewed it as this thing that might happen 30 or 40 years later. But it feels like a lot of these advancements and breakthroughs lately have made a much more immediate threat. Can you tell me a little bit about how Naoris is viewing the threat and how they're developing the Naoris platform to address the quantum threat? What sort of position are they taking on it, and how is Naoris designed to manage the quantum threat in crypto?
So Naoris has been initiated by a discussion between David, one of the co-founders of the Naoris Protocol project, and the former chief of intelligence of NATO. Of course, the first application for a post-quantum consensus will target military, because the single point of failure of military nowadays is the fact that it still relies on centralized network, and this can pose a real threat in the case of quantum computer giving the ability to crack the encrypted data. So this discussion took place around 2017, 2019, therefore leading to the launch of a research and development company, becoming now Naoris Protocol. What Naoris Protocol has developed is what is called the decentralized proof of security consensus. It's using a swarm AI mesh that is constantly challenging the nodes that are operating within the Naoris Protocol. And Naoris has to be seen as what they call a sub-zero layer. It does not compete with the layer 1, 2, 3. It comes beneath the layers to transform any kind of device from IoT to computer into nodes and validators. But thanks to the swarm AI mesh, they are all constantly challenged in order to avoid the threat that can be organized if you get the ability to use quantum.
So it sounds like it has the ability to offer quantum protection to other blockchains and other services. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. That's the purpose of it. Not to compete with the existing blockchain, but just come as a foundation to provide to the existing blockchain or future blockchain the ability to be quantum resisting.
That's great. Thank you. You mentioned that the founder, David, was working with NATO. Could you expand on that a little bit? Tell us about his involvement with that and his background.
It's not that he's working with NATO. It's the fact that he had a discussion with the NATO chief of intelligence, and now this guy, is an advisor of the project. So What's important to understand is that from the beginning, the level of challenge for Naoris to provide a solution was military level. Therefore, it provides to Naoris a very specific position in the field of quantum resisting algorithm, because the compliance they have to pass from a technical point of view is the highest possible.
So I know that Naoris recently had a very, very successful TGE and launch. So congratulations. That's incredible. We're very happy to be involved with that. Can you tell us where Naoris is at in the stage of the project? Mainnet is live. What phase of development are they at? What comes next?
So mainnet is not live. It will be live around Q1 of the next year.
So testnet is live?
Testnet is live, of course, and it's developing now. Naoris has already made an extensive proof of the fact that its system and consensus is working well, with a little bit more. I think it's 104 million transactions, 3.3 million wallets, 1 million plus nodes, and more than 550 million threads that have been blocked thanks to the system. So the testnet has been extensively tested, and it works very well. The mainnet should appear between December and Q1 of the next year, and Naoris has already signed high-level partnership. I cannot give names right now, but it will be quoted in the next coming weeks and months.
Amazing. Thank you. So with what comes next, I really like the way that you're approaching this, because every single blockchain is going to be affected by quantum. It's, as you mentioned earlier, it's not a theoretical thing anymore. It's simply an engineering problem. What sort of traction are they getting? I know you mentioned some partnerships, but how are they approaching it with other blockchains? Are they trying to have conversations already? What sort of approach are they taking to get other blockchains to adopt Naoris once the mainnet goes live next year?
The thing is simple. As soon as you will get some quantum computer offering more than 1,500 qubits, there is a threat. So whether you want to be prepared before the threat, or whether you want to prepare yourself from the first attack that will put your system down. So Naoris is discussing with a lot of partners from one side who wants to be quantum resisting, and future client from another side, including states, including Department of Military from states. So right now the testnet is strong and will continue to evolve. The next step will be to put in place stacking, to put in place evolution of the algorithm, because it's based on mathematics and based on the AI swarm, the way it's challenging the nodes to be sure that there are no nefarious nodes that would be able to validate a transaction. And the partnership are based on provide the ability for any kind of device to operate as a node. So that's how it works.
Very cool. So you mentioned a couple of times the AI swarm, or the swarm. Could you expand on that a little bit and explain how that works?
The thing is, so you have validators, you have nodes, you have validators. What the system does is that it's requesting to random validators live and constantly to answer to some kind of challenges that gives the ability to check if the validator is in the right side, or if it's trying to operate some stuff that are not validated by the others. So what it does is that it makes the system work as if everybody was constantly connected to each other without damaging the scalability.
Very good. So you said mainnet will be live in Q1 of next year, right?
Yes.
What can people do to get involved now? Can they participate in the testnet? Is there any sort of campaign? How can people who are watching at home or watching this later, how can they get involved with Naoris?
So because Naoris Protocol aim to offer quantum resistance not only to blockchain but also to Web 2 and Web 3, there is, for example, an extension, and a browser extension that can be installed on your system.
And that lets them participate in the swarm?
Yes, please. You can start to use that extension. You can participate just following the smart and all the x.com and the communication that Naoris is providing, because they participate to a lot of events and stuff. For the developers, there is an SDK that is already available. They can download it and start to work. And Naoris is involved in numerous audit and hackathon. So just come and join, because the world decentralized is at the heart of the system. So the point is not for Naoris to develop for themselves, but to participate, to reach the state of a bulletproof, quantum-resisting system. So the more you participate, the better it is, not only for Naoris, but just for the whole blockchain.
That's great. I love how proactive Naoris is being about the quantum threat. There's a lot of people in the crypto community and the Bitcoin community who are still somewhat ignoring it and not acknowledging it. So I love the fact that Naoris is at the forefront of this, addressing it seriously and building something to help protect not just Naoris, but the entire community. Fred, thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it. We're really looking forward to working with you.
My pleasure.
Yep. Thank you.